So Bang & Vogue is based out of Ottawa, Canada, and it was founded by myself and my partner about 20 years ago. My partner this year actually won one of Canada's top entrepreneurs. But the focus of the company is basically the innovative and relevant solutions to the crisis of stuff. And what we've focused on for the last 20 years is what to do with all the clothes that people are buying and then discarding in a more and more rapid way. So we've focused on helping charities and private collectors find homes around the world for clothing, shoes, purses, belts, hard goods that are essentially donated or collected and diverted from the landfill. And we now are moving about 40 and 60 containers or lorries a week of used clothing. So it's about 4 million garments a week of used clothing.
I generally talk to sustainable fashion brands, and what I'm finding is a lot of these brands really are very small and they really don't have the resources to try and inform the average consumer. Do you find that you being a successful business model, do you find that you are able to do marketing and reach consumers? Or
in our factory, as I said, we have this division which is the Beyond Retro upcycled clothing. This is the largest upcycling line. So we're doing upcycling at scale. One of our customers is Urban Outfitters in the United States. They have 300 stores across the United States. For Christmas, for example, we're supplying them with mini backpacks that are velvet mini backpacks, which are made from discarded velvet dresses. So there's an enormous amount of velvet available. And for us, what is the most important thing is to make a relevant fashion story. And then, oh, by the way, when you open up the inside of the bag, you'll see the story that our mini bags are upcycled and remade and had actually zero water consumption in their production. We tell the story, but the first story that we tell is a fashion story, that this is just a handsome, relevant item. So I feel as if there's a real opportunity as a business to tell our story, but using modern culture to be able to do it effectively. I mean, the frustrating thing for us as a business is we know that has to sell in an Urban Outfitters for $35. That's the price point and if I try to charge $55, even though it's got a great story, and to your audience that you say, well, I talk to these ethical brands and they're a 1 or 2 person shop. I'm highly empathetic of their situation because they might have a really great story of what they're trying to achieve and why they're trying to achieve it. But if they can't get that garment in the mass consumer's hands for an achievable price, I'm not sure they're going to get their story out as well. I generally don't believe that a revolution is ever a true revolution is ever done by the super wealthy. True revolutions are done by the masses, and that's the way in which we're trying to tell our story. We want to make our product achievable. We're doing it because we think it's the right thing to do and the right way to use these resources.
The first in the world who has the contour that was not only fashion.
okay, yeah.
I used to be a stylist for 25 years in the normal fashion industry, and I was delivering fashion stories for all magazines in Denmark and Scandinavia. And I did a lot of fashion shows, and there was a lot of things that I didn't agree about in the fashion business, even that I lost my job. Like I quit the business. My company was called Style. I love the work I do for Nelson Mandela. I was an ambassador at that time, and I was head of marketing in Scandinavia, and I love the job I do for Save the Children. But that's charity. Changed my company Style to Fair Style, and I just had to only have clients and only do fashion shootings with fair clothes. And then I settled down with Fair Style. That was a communication agency, visuals mostly, and we did a lot of social media for clients, and we were kind of mentoring upstarted companies that had a good philosophy about this. I had the same values that I had. And so by coincidence, I had another client that wanted to be in Fair Style, the communication agency, but he just signed with another communication agency, but they didn't have the values that we had. We had only clients with a product that was 100% sustainable, zero waste. But he didn't knew about that. He found out later, and then he signed the contract. He made a bicycle made of bamboo in Africa. So he heard the conversation I had one of the times with South Africa, and he said, if I build a website for you, you could do the marketing for me at the bamboo bike. So we could share this. And that's kind of how my fair shop started. So many years ago.
Do you feel like your sales have gone up in your shop? Is there a demand?
Definitely. We're like doubling every year. Yeah, but you know, it's still our tribe. We have all the followers we have on Instagram and Facebook, and now we have a shop in the middle of Copenhagen in the very expensive area. They're coming because they know us from the social media. You know, they're in it for the sustainability.
Do you know who actually buys your products? I presume a lot of that is Danish people.
We have a lot of foreigners. There were two ladies yesterday, the one from Amsterdam and the other one from Norway, because they wanted a whole store where they can get all the Christmas shop in one place and they have a green or a clean consciousness. It's customers from all over the world.
Can you describe your customer profile? Do you know who your customer is, your average customer?
Yeah, she's in between 25 and 34. Yeah, that will be the one on the website shopping the most. And I can see that in the shop as well. From our surveys, we can see that.
So you say that you have a marketing background. So how has that sort of helped you in setting this concept up?
Instagram was very new at that time. Of course, we were in there and we could do a lot of content for free and just share and share and share. And we have a lot of good stories that we were sharing. And so we were beginning to kind of grow our tribe already then, even if we didn't knew that Instagram would be a main marketing strategy. At that time, we just did it and we just grew with it. We have so many good stories to tell. Grew into Instagram and they grew with us.
What do you think will help you to grow? And
I think the best thing is when we select or famous people or bloggers, influencers, when they're sharing stuff from us, it's what growing up is. And I think we should just tell more stories because then it's growing by itself. So we tend to be on more media and talk more about it.
Yeah.
We want things from idealistic people and they have no idea about sales, shows and marketing. And they think it's the lowest and we are like, no, you need to put most money and attention in the marketing because if you're not out there, you won't sell your product. It could be as green and organic and idealistic as hell, but it won't sell because nobody knows it. So I think, you know, we should put marketing on top.
So I came through with a new concept, which was Monkey Jeans. We had to go abroad, and we insisted that the partners that we found who were going to do our production got certified. So, you know, from the word go with Monkey, it was an ethical label. And we didn't get the GOTS certification. We got the UK one, Soil Association. And the one thing about Soil Association was 99.5% of the population, especially our customers, wouldn't know what the hell Soil Association was. And so that's when the mantra idea came. No blood, no sweat, no tears, no slave labour, no child labour. But first and foremost, Monkey Jeans had an edge. The skinny revolution had just begun. And we offered these sort of vibrant pop art colours. So we had like electric blues, chili red, greens that you could see, you know, from 200 yards. And it worked, you know. We had excitement. The range was exciting. And it was very obvious when you picked up a pair of our jeans that there was something else going on. First and foremost, you know, you were picking up a pair of jeans because, you know, they were attracting you as a punter. We suddenly went on the world stage for it, you know. The Italians just went mental for it. And then other European countries. It was fabulous. The factory I worked with in Indonesia, I could design my own fabric. So Monkey Jeans, we had our own fabric. It wasn't, you know, as things got bigger with all this corporate, clothing just became fodder. You know, unless you went really high up the scale on price, everybody had the same jeans. There were a factory that was making, you know, for, I don't know, Primark, could be making one of the labels. It was bizarre. It was just, you know, not only did independence go, but individuality sort of went with it. I'm quite a raw designer. I was very lucky. I had a guy through the years when I was becoming a Gene Labe who was a brilliant pattern cutter. If you like, you know, if you had an idea for a tune in your head and you were humming away, this guy was the piano player who put down all the notes. We used to hook up. I gave him general idea of where I wanted to go, and he devolved the pattern. I ended up with like absolutely bespoke patterns, and that's how it came, you know, successful.
Who is your actual customer profile? Do you know who's buying your jeans?
We do have two buys out there. We've got the ethical side. So the ethical punter tends to be, you know, the one who, you know, they haven't given up on how they look. They still go out, still party, regardless of their age, and they like something that's got a bit of an edge. We have that punter, and we've got it since we relaunched. You know, we're up to about, I don't know, 36,000 people on Facebook from 0 18 months ago. And that...
What age would you say that is on the ethical side?
Probably 30, 40, something like that. The other side, which is where Monkey Jeans came in originally, you know, when we were doing all the exciting colour, we're starting to get that group back, the 15, 16 to 25, you know, they want to wear something that's different. We're pulling that's the adrenaline rush, that's the push. If it's just a skinny jean, a black skinny jean, they ain't going to spend 65, 70 quid. That's it, full stop. If it's got something where it's got a story about it, it's got a different look, yeah, they will. We're online. I mean, since the relaunch, opened up with a few of the high street online businesses. We've got people like Urban Outfitters and Top Man look like they're going to be on for spring. We're trying to do exactly what you suggested, you know. Social media, the biggest push that we will do the next 6 months will be to get our Instagram overtaking our Facebook. We want goal is 100,000 people on Instagram buzzing about what we do. When we get to that, we've made it.